Start off, I just wanted to tell something. Okay. So, like the first mark was not even 600. Did anyone got above 600 in yesterday's test or Sunday's test? Is there anyone who's attending this class who crossed 300 plus? If you have got it, like you please let me know, because like the report that I saw had a maximum of 292. I just saw 2 schools. I did not see any other school. I did not see the Blossoms result. So is there anyone who has got above 292? This is for test number 2 that we wrote on Sunday. Okay, how much was your score? Please type your scores above. That is the test 3. Sorry, test 3 I am talking about. The one which we wrote on Sunday. So who got about, what was the first mark thing? The mark that I saw was 292. Did anyone got above 292? In case if you have got, tell me what is your mark. Yeah, test 3. Test 3, someone who has got. Okay, someone has got 348. Can you just tell me what are the other scores that you have got? Ma. This 348 is in bio. Yeah, I'm asking only about biology. I mean, please, like, let us try to talk about it. I'm talking about biology, physics, and chemistry. I'm talking only about biology. I saw 292 is the first mark. I saw Jay Anirudh, your score, overall score I saw, but I just am bothered about biology first. Then I will try to tell. The total score which I saw was like 292. In the topper's mark, not the topper, but the biology topper was 292. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is like you should at least get 300 here, and then like you should get at least 150 here, and you should get at least 150 here. Only if you're going to get all these things, your score is going to be 600 plus. And only if you're able to think something like this, you're like meeting the basic quality. Let 2 questions be wrong. You add that 8 marks to your mark. Is your mark above 600 is the question. There might be 10 questions. You add 40 marks to your mark. Is your mark above 600 in that case? I just saw 2 people above 500. Okay, even if 10 questions are wrong and I'm going to give you, if I'm going to give you 40 marks as a bonus mark, only 2 people will be able to cross 600 in the entire lot of 192 people who are like writing the test, or 200 people who are writing the test. So which means, what is it trying to tell us? Like basically it is trying to tell us that we aren't sufficiently preparing in physics and chemistry, first of all, because I don't see anyone who's scoring above 150 in the chemistry or physics. I just saw in some people like, okay, I have a division, I have something with me, so let me just check it. I have this 11th standard mark sheet for NEET. The topper has got 556, and there is someone who has got 539. Okay, the topper is 556. Jay Anirudh has got 556. So if you are going to talk about his mark, it is around 539 Pavan. Okay, so these are the marks which are above 500. So maximum, if I'm going to, if there are 10 questions wrong, these people will be able to tell. But I am not sure like 10 questions are wrong. Yeah, some of them have got above 500. Yeah, there was a 519. There are like two people getting 519, and then like there are like one person getting 506, and then there is a person who's getting 502. Okay, so these are all scores above 500. So what I'm trying to tell is like, but many of you have like kind of scored almost like 200, 300 kind of scores. And what I see here is like, I'm seeing you're attending only biology here as a subject. The performance in physics or chemistry is absolutely nil. So it is not going to be like kind of going to happen this way. If you're like thinking of NEET, if you're thinking only biology is going to go, it will maximum take you up to 360, and that too if you're like really good at it. And just with 360 out of 360, even if you get it, it will not get you a medical seat. So what you need to understand is, you need to understand that having a clear cut agenda and then like clear cut idea is like very important. I'm very glad that you're like all doing biology, but biology is theoretical, and then like it is like hardly like something which is delving on memory oriented learning. Okay, which means like if you're given getting 360 on 360 is not going to take you to a medical seat at all. So you might be interested in biology, and if you are like, it is sufficient if you are getting some 300 plus, and then like you have to try to get 150 plus in physics, and you have to get 150 plus in chemistry if you're thinking of a 600 plus score in the first attempt. So which means like you need to work on your physics and chemistry. That is something that you have to start doing it right away in the coming test. And something else that you should be also doing is, you have to work on these question papers. These tests are not just for like taking it, and these tests are not just like that. It is like kind of like okay, I did this test and then I'll stop it with that. It's not going to be working out that way. This test you might be getting something very poor, it doesn't matter. You might be getting just 300 out, I mean like 300 plus out of everything, or you might be just getting 200 plus out of something. But what you need to do is like, you need to understand that you have to proceed in a proper direction. You might be poor, you might be zero at today, at any point of time, like you can be zero, not a problem at all. Not everyone in this world knows everything. Not everyone is as dedicated as someone else. So what you need to understand is like, you need to understand that you have to start somewhere, and somewhere you have to have the consciousness, and you have to start doing things in a very systematic way. So most of these exams, no, competitive exams, let me tell you, these are all like kind of exams which will be like very, very systematic. People can clear it very easy. You don't have to be someone like who's like very intelligent or like very thought provoking. Okay, not that kind of person. It's like very simple. Provided you are doing something in a systematic way, and in a very meticulous way, if you're trying to work out, it should be working out fine. So what you should be doing right now is like, this week I told you that the test is biological classification fully. So if I were you, what I would try to do is, first of all, I'll try to sit with the past two papers. I have 180 questions in them, because these are the portions that are going to come again. So try to take it step by step. You try to solve all the questions here, all these 180 questions. Try to understand it. Try to read the textbook, CBSE textbook, first of all, verbatim. Okay. So what I need to know is like you have to read this thing verbatim. Verbatim, you first finish the CBSE textbook. Okay. Most of the questions in past year NEET question papers and all will be coming from CBSE only. And even this week's test paper also, there were like say maximum 10 questions that were like you were not aware of. But 80 questions, you might have got the answers only by reading NCERT. I gave this 10 questions just to make it difficult, but 80 questions were easily attainable. So even if you had attended 80 questions into 4, that would have got you a mark of 320. If you don't have the book, there is something called as e-Pathshala, which is a CBSE portal, which is having your textbook in a PDF format. So please, it is there in online thing. Okay, just like let me show you how to get it. I just typed this thing. Okay, and the first thing I'm getting is this. Okay, I click it, I'll get the book fully. Not fully, that chapter. So let it load. Meanwhile, I'll talk. So someone is trying to tell me, okay, sir, these 10 questions gave us negative marks. Who asked you to attend it? You should know what is that you know and what is that you don't know. So that is very important in a competitive examination which is having negative mark. It is not just blindly trying to attempt questions. Okay. So if you are going to attend the 10 questions, it is like minus 10 marks. So it is not necessary that you have to attend it all, but you have to attend it correctly. So you see here, like that's all. This PDF will be downloaded. So what you need to do is like you can skip. It is not necessary that you have to like understand the thing. So I'm like all I'm trying to tell is like you if you are like at 200, let us say that you are a student who's scoring only 200. Okay. Now I'm giving you a plan to get 300 plus. Try to attend 60 questions in biology. Okay, that would give you 240. 240 marks. Or like let us say you attend 220. Okay, so which is like 55 questions in biology. The remaining 80 marks are there. 10 question you attend in physics. 10 question you attend in chemistry. Even in that case, you will get 300 score. A person who's having like kind of like 220 as 200 as your score, you can still boost it up to 300. You attend only 10 questions which you know perfectly. But for this 10 questions, you should have studied. It is not like you can just like that go and then like you can write it and then get it done. There will be 10 questions out of 45 questions which you might be able to attend very perfectly correct. If you have attended all the class, if you have listened all the class, if you have worked on some questions, any person would be able to get from 200, you can jump to 300 easily. And any person who's there in 300 zone will be able to jump from 300 to 400 very easily by doing a little bit of work. What I'm trying to tell is like you take one step at a time. Before going to the examination, you should have a target. Say that this is what I want to like boost my score. So if you are like 400 to 500, it is like kind of a little bit of work. That is what I'm trying to tell. If you're getting 400 now and if you need 500, all you need to do is like you have to do some kind of work. It is not going to be like heavy chapters. Now you are having only one chapter per day and you are having 24 hours in a day. And maximum you are like attending what, 4 hours of class plus 1 hour of doubt clarification, which is like just 5 hours. You sleep for 8 hours, no problem. You play for 5 hours, no problem. This is like making it 18. Even then you are left with 6 hours of time. You please understand how to utilize your time. Half of the time what we do is we sit in Instagram and then like we keep chatting, and then like half of the time we kind of like look into the mobile or look into system, and then like we kind of waste away time. So this is the time you're not even traveling to school. So which means like you need to understand how to go about it, and then like it is like all like step by step you have to improve in the test. It is not like something which will happen just like that in one day. Okay, you cannot be, you have to be like quite normal, and then like you have to be practical about things. And you cannot score subject marks without by skipping one subject. Physics எனக்கு வராது, so I will not touch it at all. Or chemistry எனக்கு வராது, so I will not touch it at all. Those kind of ideologies you have to skip it at the first moment itself, because people who do that thing have never ever cleared any examination. If there are 3 subjects, you have to concentrate equally on all the 3 subjects. Biology is the time where you should spend least time. And physics and chemistry is where it is more problematic, which means you should spend most time. Biology, you read for 1 hour a day, whatever is being taught, that is more than sufficient. Spend 5 hours a day for physics and chemistry. And while you're doing the examination, before going to the examination, you should know for how to start the test first of all. Okay, before going itself, fix the number of questions that you will attend. First, you attend those questions. Before going to the test itself, okay, I'll attend like 30 questions in bio, 10 questions in physics, 10 questions in chemistry. This is for people who are scoring below 100. There are people who are scoring in the 100 level zone. If you are attending these 50 questions into 4 marks, you will get 200 marks. Okay, if you are there in the 200 zone, go with a fixed number. Say that I will attend 45 questions, correct? Okay, and I'll attend 10 questions, I mean like say 12 questions in physics and 12 questions in chemistry. So this is like what, 69 into 4 will give me 36, 3, 24, 276 as your score. For anyone who's there in the 200 plus, okay, maybe you should raise it up with what, like say, let us say 15, 15, 30, 75. 75 into 4 would be 300. This is the kind of approach that you should have. So if you are there in the 200 zone, you aim for these things. If you are not able to do it here or here, you try to balance it here. But somehow you have to have in all the 3 components. Maybe you increase this to 55 and you make this thing to 10 and 10. What is not possible is like trying to get all the 75 from biology and 0 and 0. This is a stupid idea. So this is the mistake that most of you do it. So please understand that clearing the exam is like kind of like should be a systematic approach, and you have all the time in the world right now to do things. You don't even have to travel anywhere, you don't even have to do anything at all. So which means like if you are able to listen to it, and then if you are able to do some systematic planning, you know that this Sundays there is going to be a test, And I have told you that this is the portion. Start from today. Why study at the last moment? Start right from Monday onwards. And then from Monday onwards, you try to proceed it in like kind of like a systematic way. And if there is going to be a physics or chemistry chapter, the same way you try to spread over the week and then you try to study. And then have a minimum number of questions worked out. At least you should be working out 30 questions per day in physics. You should work 30 questions per day in chemistry if it is problem oriented. And you should read at least, say, like 1 hour for bio. This is the minimum requirement that you have to do on a day-to-day basis. This is after reading the concept. Read the concept and solve. If physics is only 10 out of like 410, then you have to like work out on physics. You try to aim target like that you will have like 5 questions correct. First of all, 5 questions will give you 20 marks. If you are scoring only 10 marks in physics, you first aim for 25 or 30. Don't have like kind of a very huge thing, but this thing this should be the bare minimum that you should get in the next test. If you have scored only 10 mark in physics, try to get 30 in the next test. If you're able to get 30 in the next test, try to get for 40 or 50 in the next test. You cannot jump from the first step to the 10th step just like that. You have to take calculative measures, and then like you have to take steps one by one, and then only you can reach to the final thing. So which means like you need to understand that what is your potential first of all, and then like work accordingly. Attending 5 questions, picking and choosing 5 questions is easy, and we don't spend all the 3 hours fully for the test. This is something which we don't do at all. So you should spend at least like 3 hours promptly, and then try to check it whether you have answered it correctly, and then like you have to understand it. So having a strategy is like very important. You're there still in the 11th standard, you still have time, and you cannot do magic in one day overnight. Okay, so you please understand this thing. This is what you need to understand, and this is how you proceed with your preparation. So without preparation, your NEET score will be pathetic. Okay, I hardly see people getting above 500, and none of you have scored above 600. Hopefully this week I would expect someone who's clearing it and then like getting it above 600. That is the bare minimum that I would expect. Let us see if you are able to meet that requirement. Okay, there are like some people who are asking me, sir, can you just tell the test portions? For biology, test portion is biological classification. I know. For physics and chemistry, please ask your physics and chemistry teachers. They would provide you with that. Okay. And then 10th result, you're scared. You're already given your exam, so there is nothing to worry about it now. Whatever has to happen will happen. You're already in 11th, so your 10th mark doesn't matter. How much time we should spend in 3 hours? If you mean the test 3 hours, all the 3 hours you should utilize. Can we make step-by-step improvement in test to test? Yes, that is what I'm asking you to do. So please do it. Don't do everything at one go. You cannot do that. It is humanly not possible. We are all humans. It's okay to make mistakes. Yeah, biology, we have to do 30 minutes. I know what I'm trying to do. So please don't advise now. I just felt that this is very important. Okay, children. So I think I'm just getting questions related to this thing. Please don't ask questions related to this thing for a while. We can start the subject. There are people who are already bored. Okay, someone is asking how much should we allocate for each subject in the NEET test. It depends on your ability. If you can attend 600, allocate each subject. That is your decision. Yes, you have to spend equal proportion for all the things. Is it possible to get 720? Yes, it is possible to get 720, just that you need to be on your toes and you should be preparing sufficiently. Okay, children. So let us now continue with the academics. Okay, what I want you to tell one thing is very clearly is that thing that even the smallest of the smallest creature like amoeba wants to improve and it becomes better. So if it can become better, like we should also be like, we will also have that inherent need to become better in terms of everything. At the end of the day, mark is not going to be everything, but mark is going to be a parameter based on which you are going to be evaluated. Unfortunately, we are living in a society like that. So what you need to do is like today, if you are having a passion and dream, you need to drive yourself in a particular way. I'm not telling that mark is the only factor which is going to be mattering about the thing, but today's situation demands that you have to get a score of 600 plus to become a doctor. Okay, it is about how we are going to meet that particular dream. You can have a dream of becoming a doctor, but achieving it requires some kind of patience and some kind of work, and it requires some kind of energy and stamina to do something worthwhile. If you have, it is not just okay to have a passion that I will become a doctor and then I will kind of like go, I have to chill. It all tells about like kind of like showing you determination. Tomorrow if you have to become a doctor, you have to like stand in an operation theater for 8 hours at a stretch, and then probably you have to perform a surgery. So which means you should be able to stick on to a place for 8 hours, and then like you should be able to read first of all and be patient, look at things and then like observe and do things. These are all things that will put you into the thing. So it is not just about the marks. You might be in a totally different generation to do things easily and then smarter way. But please understand that there is no smarter way for doing things. It is not about getting the thing. I mean, there has to be some element of dedication that has to be there. Only then it will be worthwhile. Okay, today you can get a medical seat even by paying money if you just clear the basic minimum of cutoff. But what is the effort that you're putting for that thing? Again, like that is like, again, like, will it last for long? You have to question those things. Okay, so it is a time where we have to prepare and you have to prepare. So start preparing is what I'm trying to tell. It is not just okay to have a dream and then not do anything. I think you should be having a dream and you should know how to go towards that dream. Well, we have completed the filaments. So now what we will do is we will try to move on to cilia and flagella. Yeah. Ophthalmologist is a person who is an eye doctor. Yes, NEET has negative mark. It has 1/4 of the mark as negative. If you are like getting 1 mark question, if you are getting one wrong, means your mark will be deducted by 0.25. Each question carries You first become a doctor, then we can discuss about what you will become a doctor after becoming a doctor. Tambi, you're taking weekly test in NEET. That is exactly as per the pattern. 720 marks is the mark for NEET, out of which 360 is biology, 180 is physics, 180 is chemistry. This has 90 questions into 4 marks. This has 45 questions into 4 marks. This is 45 questions into 4 mark. If suppose one question is wrong, you will get minus 1 mark. Each correct answer plus 4. Each wrong answer is minus 1. The exact weekend test portion is based on a NEET pattern. Whatever you are learning in CBSE is only going to be there in the test portion. But if you skip questions, 0. Okay, what is cilia and flagella? Cilia and flagella are organs of locomotion. In eukaryotic organisms. Unicellular organisms. In multicellular eukaryotes, they perform specialized functions. Okay. The similarities between them: both are hair-like. Both are movable. Both are covered by membrane. Both are structurally similar. Both are made up of microtubules. What is microtubules? Yesterday we studied. Okay, that alpha helical structure, that helix structure, hollow helical structure that we studied, which is made up of a protein which is called as tubulin. That is what we call it as microtubule. Okay, both are made up of tubules. So these are the similarities between cilia and flagella. So please, if you're done, please let me know so that I can proceed. So what is the differences now we need to understand? Okay, if you're talking about differences, cilia is there, flagella, they are fine hair-like structures. They are whip-like structures. You guys know what is the whip? Yeah, satai. That is whip. Chauk, chatai. They are in large. They occur in. They are hair. They are fine hair-like structures. This one will be looking like a long whip-like structure. Hair-like projections. Both are projected outside. In similarities, both are hair-like projections. You can say. They occur in large number. Here, fewer in number. Okay. Movement here is rowing pattern. The movement here is we call them as indulations. What is indulations? Like a wave. The movement is asymmetrical. The movement is always symmetrical. Yeah, basically this indulation is like also it can be told as like whipping movement or somersault. I told you no already, whip like movement or somersault. Yeah, two types. Here you is a power stroke or a recovery stroke. Yeah, I told them for prokaryotes. Yeah, I told them whip like and somersault. Okay, whenever I'm trying to tell symmetry, it is of equal size. If say, for example, like let us say facilia is going to be there. If it is like kind of like moving from here to here, okay, it can be symmetric or asymmetric. What is the meaning of symmetric? Here I move this side, I move 10 units and this side I try to move only 5 units. That is asymmetric pattern. Yeah, symmetry means it is equal in both the sides. Asymmetric means the movement is like not equal in both the sides. Okay, and the last difference that you need to know is flagella is found only in euglena or the flagellates, sperm cells of higher organisms. Okay, so whereas here cilia, maybe you can also add zoospores. If you're talking about cilia, cilia is found in ducts, tubules, or anywhere the object is to be moved in a particular direction. So you have ciliated epithelium in your trachea, you have ciliated epithelium in your intestinal tract, and all those things. All those things will try to push the food in a particular direction or air in a particular direction. You don't say object, instead of that, you can say substances. You just remove this word only, then it makes no problem. And ciliates. Whenever I'm trying to tell tubules, tubules will include all fallopian tube and all will be coming under tubules. Okay, so with this thing, this part, the differences is over. Okay, are we guys understanding? Basically, a power stroke is a fast stroke, and then your recovery stroke is a slower stroke. So basically, no, it will be like kind of beating movement. So you talk about this particular thing, this paramecium, which is having lots of its cilia. What it will try to do is it will try to beat it down very fast, and it will try to take it in the backward direction. That is called as the recovery stroke. So when it is done in a faster way, it is trying to push. Yeah, it is like kind of a stroke. You try to push it like you have this swimming strokes. No, you remember about that strokes. That is what we call it as. You remember how you have something called as butterfly stroke. You have something called as the different kinds of swimming strokes. The same way. What you do with your hand. Exact same. Okay, so with this thing, this part is over. So now what we will try to do is like we'll try to study about what you're not understanding, Shahrukh. Power stroke means you try to, the cilia is trying to beat it down in a faster way. Okay, and recovery stroke means it is trying to take it back in a slower way. So both these things will together will try to mean that it is a movement. So moving on further, we need to know the structure of cilia and flagella. Okay, you have the structure is made up of four parts. Shaft, basal body, basal plate, and rootlets. I'm trying to tell about both. Both will have the similar structure. You see here, both are made up of microtubules and both have the same structure. Which means the integrity of that particular thing is same. Both flagella and your cilia will have the same structure. But what is the only thing that differs is the length. One is like long and the other one is short. But whereas the content which is making these two things are similar. Okay, so it is made up of four different parts. One is what we call it as shaft. Second one is the basal body. The third one is the basal plate. And the fourth one is what we call it as a rootlet. Okay, the shaft is also called as axoneme. and it is the main part. This is the part which projects. Okay, so with this thing, we'll stop here. Tomorrow, we'll try to study in detail about shaft, basal body, everything, and we'll move on to centrioles. Okay, so now we'll see all the 4 slides. First slide. Second slide. Third slide. Fourth slide. Yeah, shaft is the one which is present outside the cell. Does cilia and protozoans form undulating movements? Yeah, you can say undulating membranes. Okay. No, I mean like there is some problem with the sentence formation. Jashna Rajdia. Jashna Rajdia. Second slide. Yeah, thank you, children. So today we'll wrap it off. We'll continue it tomorrow. Thank you all. The word asymmetrical means not equal. Symmetrical means equal. Three, four. 3, 4. Okay, thank you, children. First slide. Thank you, children. Yeah, tomorrow class as usual. Thank you.